The Los Angeles Kings fired their coach, Todd McLellan. In this, his 5th year, the Kings were looked at as a cup contender coming into the season. Had that great beginning to the season when they set an NHL record, 11 straight road wins, and they have since fallen to losing 14 of the last 17. Assistant Jim Hiller has been named interim coach for the remainder of the season. The Kings come in currently 3 points out of the final playoff spot. And again, that remarkable start that they have. The Kings have the second best record in the NHL through December 27th. Scoring was up, goals were down. Things have essentially flip-flopped, and the goals have dried up, and the goals allowed are way up. So I feel bad for McLellan. Like, seemed to be one of my favorite guys. We got a chance to do some games and talk to him pregame. What's your take on this? Because they won the final game coming into the break, and maybe people thought, all right, give them the fresh start, give them the break, and see how they come out. Not the case.
No, I would say that given the way the last, since December 27th has gone, you get to the break, that's the time when you're going to make a change. You're not going to make one just before the break. The decision clearly had already been made to make the coaching change. I did the Nashville game out there last week, and they just looked like they lost it. You know, like they weren't sharp. They weren't LA Kings aggressive. They weren't physical like they usually are. Todd McLellan's teams usually are. They just lost it. And you know, you're going to hear, oh, it's our responsibility. The players are going to say it's on us and all that. Well, they should look at themselves.
Yeah.
That's a good coach. And they made a huge trade in the offseason. They brought in P.L. Dubois, and it's been a pancake.
Big cash.
But a big part of the team.
Yeah.
And he's not delivered. And if you have a big chunk of your team, PK, if you take one of your big chunks out, like, how good can you really be? He needs to find his game.
He's got to find his game, and then that's got to be a balance between coaching and the player. But at some point in time when you're making that amount of money, you have to find a way to make an impact. And we've seen players do it differently. Jacob Trouba goes into New York, and he's like a different player than he was in Winnipeg. But he evolved his game. And, you know, for a lot of people, they want to see a player making $8 million get 50, 60 points. But you can't replace Jacob Trouba and what he does for the New York Rangers every night. I don't care how much he's getting paid. When I look at L.A., they're probably the best defensive team in the NHL to start the season. You watch them play, you score, keep the puck. Like, that was the feeling. Yeah. They weren't giving you anything. So sometimes when things get going, you got a young team. There's been 6 coaches fired this year. There'll probably be many more when it's all said and done. Some of it is also the players got to buy in to what helps you win. Like, when things are going well, you can't sit back and say, oh, it's just going to come. When I was in Montreal, one of the years we didn't make the playoffs. I'm not going to quote the year, but we won like 9 or 10 games in a row. And we thought that we had it made. We didn't end up making the playoffs. So, you know, you have to stay the course. And Drew Doughty came out, sounded out on his team. You know, I thought he did the right thing by calling the guys out. And guys got to listen to him, not just on that team, but around the league for a lot of the young guys. The intangibles to win is every night how you play defensively. You got to buy in. You got to commit to defensive style of play. And they had the culture there. They lost it somehow, and that cost their coach the job. So they definitely got to look in the mirror. I think that team's got enough in that locker room. I really hope we see better out of them this season.